Shake it positive, shake it positive. When it ain't moving, baby, shake it out of it. Shake it positive, shake it free. Twerk that way right off your destiny. Shake it positive, don't think too hard. Drop that stress right there in the yard. Shake it positive, here's a mission. Turn that situation into permission. I always stuck in my head, life on pause. Bills too loud, fear in charge. Body tight, spirit tense. Had to move before I made sense. Grandmama said don't sit in pain. If it don't move, you move it away. So I bend my knees, find my rhythm back. Let my hips talk where my mouth got trapped. Ain't everything solved in thought. Some things you lose when the body talks. You can pray, blame, manifest too, but sometimes you gotta move it. Shake it positive. What? Shake it positive. Yeah. When it ain't moving, baby, shake it out of it. Shake it positive. Shake it free. Twerk that way right off your destiny. Shake it positive. Don't think too hard. Drop that stress right there in the yard. Shake it positive. Here's the vision. Turn that stagnation into motion. No, this ain't for attention. This is release. This is shaking off what won't leave. Shame, doubt, that with a voice. Bounce says, baby, make a choice. Move your body, change the channel. Energy flowing where you angle. Ain't nobody judging in the mirror. You shake long enough, truth get clearer. You can cry later, laugh right now. Joy and foolish is survival. If the door won't open yet, shake to the hinges, loosen up. Shake it positive, yeah. Shake it positive, yeah. When it ain't moving, baby, shake it out of it. Shake it positive, shake it free. Twerk that way right off your destiny. Shake it positive, don't hold back. Let that joy come up your back. Shake it positive, no permission. It's your breakthrough emotion. Your left cheek, release. Right cheek, relief. Drop it low, let it go. Bring it up, that's enough. You don't gotta understand it. Just don't resist it. Sometimes freedom start in the hips before you hit the business. Yeah. Shake it positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shake it positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shake it positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shake it positive.
Steps off, baby. This ain't just a vibe, it's a sanctuary. You just walked into the Love Palace. Welcome to a daily dose of Dee. Wrap yourself in satin truth. This love ain't rushed, it's velvet smooth. Silk on your spirit, rose in your mouth. Let me show you what healing's really about. Ooh, she don't play with pleasure, nah. Only pours it where it's earned. Let it burn slow. A daily dose of Dee. Let the love run deep and free. One touch and you'll believe. She's the calm, she's the heat, she's the peace you need. Here in the Love Palace, where even broken ships sail smooth. Anchor down, baby, daily dose of Dee. Your prescription to feel seen. No refills, just show up and receive. Let your ships drift into healing seas. We don't chase waves, we ride them. She don't beg, she just glows.
Before the mirror ever spoke, the world had already whispered. Some whispers said, "You are not enough." Others said, "You'll never measure up." But mirrors only reflect what stands before them. They don't decide your value. A flower doesn't stop blooming because someone forgot to water it. The sun doesn't apologize for shining too brightly. Your worth isn't determined by likes, followers, paychecks, relationships, mistakes, or someone else's opinion. You came into this world valuable. Life may have covered the truth with dust, but tonight we're going to wipe the mirror clean. Welcome home to yourself. Welcome to Daily Dose of Dee. Let's talk self-esteem. Grand rising, grand afternoon, or grand evening, depending on what time of day you're watching Daily Dose of Dee. How's everybody doing? I am your host, GoddessDee of Love. Now, if you're tuning in right now, I did do this live a little bit early today because we got things to do later on the evening. So if you're not here at this time, I hope you go ahead and watch it at the regular time at 5:30 p.m. I appreciate it. And for you that are here with me right now, welcome. Welcome to Daily Dose of Tea on this Thank Yourself Thursday, because we're going to talk about thanking ourselves today. With that being said, let's get into the word of the day, and that is self-esteem, the fundamental internal belief in your inherent worth, value, and dignity as a human being, independent of external achievement or approval. It is built on self efficiency, trusting your capabilities, self respect, honoring your needs, and self acceptance, embracing your imperfection. And this on this Thank Yourself Thursday, we have the quote of the day as well, which is love yourself first and everything else falls into line by the one and only Lucille Ball. So, once again, everybody, I want to thank you for coming to another episode of Daily Dose of Dee. If you're new here, I am your host, GoddessDee in Love. And as I always say, I want to thank every single one of you for spending a few moments of your day with me. Whether you're watching while getting ready for work, relaxing after a long day, riding in your car, or just simply looking for a little bit of encouragement, I am grateful that you're here. Today, I'm talking about something that quietly affects every relationship, every opportunity, every dream, and every decision we make. We're going to talk about self esteem. So think of self esteem like the foundation underneath a beautiful house. People admire the paint, the decorations, the landscaping, but if that foundation is cracked, eventually everything above it begins to shake. Tonight, let's strengthen that foundation together. So, you know how I love to do this on Daily Dose of D, right? Give the full definition, the root, and the meaning. So, what really is self esteem? The word self esteem means the opinion and value you have for yourself. It's how much respect, appreciation, and acceptance you have for who you are. So, the word esteem comes from the Latin word esteemare, meaning to value, to estimate, or to place upon worth. And when you add self, it literally means estimating your own worth. Imagine carrying an invisible price tag around your neck every single day. Some people unknowingly write discounted on their tag because of the painful experiences, while others understand their true value isn't determined by what others are willing to pay emotionally. Just because someone failed to recognize your worth doesn't mean your value ever decreased. At its core, Self-esteem is the internal mirror you look into to judge your own worth. It isn't about arrogance or thinking you're perfect. It's the quiet baseline belief that you matter, that you are worthy of love and respect, and that you have the right to take up space in this world. So think of self esteem as a foundation of a house, like I mentioned, right? When the foundation is solid, the house withstands intense storms. But when it's shaky, baby, even a light breeze can make the whole structure fall like it's about to collapse. You see, here at Daily Dose of Dee, I like to talk about healing. This is where healing begins with these honest and deep conversations. Remember, investing in yourself is never a waste, family. It's not a waste of time, not a waste of energy, because you're the only person you'll spend your entire life with. So let's continue in discovering why your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have. So self esteem can show up in the smallest moments of our everyday life. Think of it like, the thermostat in your home. It's either going to be hot, cool, warm. When you set it correctly, the environment feels comfortable, right? But when it's broken, if you ever had that hot summer and your air condition is broken, everything feels either too hot or if it breaks in the winter, it's too cold. Someone with low self esteem may constantly apologize, struggle to accept compliments, have a fear of rejection, compare themselves to other people, avoid challenges, overthink every single mistake, and seek constant approval. And you even tolerate those unhealthy relationships when your self esteem is low. You believe they are not enough, that you are not enough. Imagine a young woman who gets a promotion, but immediately tells herself she only got it because she was lucky. Or her man who never applies for a better job because he believes he'll fail before he even tries. Those are quiet signs of low self esteem speaking to you. So, someone with the higher self esteem, however, understands they're not perfect, but they know that they're valuable. They can accept compliments without feeling guilty. They set healthy boundaries. They admit mistakes without feeling like they failed. And they celebrate other people's success without jealousy or envy. And most importantly, they ask for help when they need it. And they continue growing without constantly proving themselves. A person with high self esteem, they don't think they're better than everyone else. They simply know that they are. Yeah. So when we look at high, or rather, should I say healthy self esteem versus low self esteem or unhealthy self esteem, we are looking at the lens through which a person views every interaction, every challenge, and relationship in their life. It changes the internal script running in a person's mind. So when it comes to self-esteem, there are two components that psychologists like to describe. One is your self-worth and the other is self-competence. See, self-worth is believing you deserve love, respect, kindness, and simply because you exist. Self-competence is believing you can learn, solve problems, and overcome challenges. So think of a bird flying with two wings. When that bird has them two wings, they can fly good. But if one wing is injured, flying becomes difficult. Someone may feel lovable but incapable, or capable of being unworthy of love. Healthy self esteem develops when both of your wings become strong enough to carry you through life. Let's talk about that self confidence in mind, self efficiency. It's the belief in your ability to think, learn, choose, and make those good, appropriate decisions. It is your internal trust that you can navigate the challenges of life and figure things out, even when the road gets rocky and bumpy. hmm So it sort of sounds like this. This situation is tough, and I don't know the answer yet, but I'm going to trust my ability to figure it out, to adapt and learn. When it's high, you take the healthy risk and you embrace the power of the pivot. When plans change and view obstacles as problems to be solved rather than the proof that you are helpless. Now, when it's low, you feel like a passive passenger in your own life. You might succumb to the sense of helplessness, constantly decision, deferring decisions to others because you don't trust your own judgment. Now, self worth, let's talk about that self worth now. Self worth is deep, baseline conviction of your right to be happy. It is the assurance that you are worthy of love, friendship, success, and fulfillment. You see, self worth means knowing that your needs, feelings, and boundaries matter just as much as anyone else's. So let me give you an example of what this sounds like. I deserve to be treated with kindness and respect, both by others and by the voice inside my own head. So when this self worth is at a high, you're going to naturally protect your spiritual hygiene. You enforce those healthy boundaries, walk away from toxic dynamics, and treat yourself with compassion even when you make a mistake. Now, when your self worth is a little low, you are highly vulnerable to pleasing the people. hmm Settling for less than you deserve and letting others cross your boundaries because you secretly fear that standing up for yourself will lead to direct rejection. Now, if you have a high efficiency but low self worth, you might become a driven overachiever who climbs at the top of the ladder but still feels completely empty inside. If you have high self respect but low self efficiency, you might feel worthy of a great life but lack the internal confidence to take action and build it. True, healthy self esteem is the beautiful harmony of both. Knowing you are capable of handling life and knowing you are entirely worthy to enjoy it. You see, Love Balance family, if this conversation today is touching your heart, go ahead and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because healing grows when we stop suffering in silence. So go ahead and hit that like button, share this out, tell somebody, hey, GoddessDee Love is talking about self esteem today. Come on through. And I'll be right back after these messages.
So what is the definition of self-esteem? It's a subjective evaluation of your own worth, value, and capability. So if you have high self-esteem, you more than likely feel positive about yourself, your abilities, and your purpose. If you have low self-esteem, it is likely you struggle with self-doubt, worthlessness, or insecurities, which can lead to a negative pattern of thinking. So if you are struggling with self-esteem, do this one thing right now. Focus on your strengths. There has to be something you feel and know you are good at. Write a small list of things that you are good at and incorporate that into your daily or your weekly routine. Start small and work your way up.
The water carries me. Through the gateway I meet those who walked before. Their breath moves in mine. My hands remember.
Next on the gateway to the ancestors.
We have left Montgomery behind now, but the journey continues. The roads and rivers that help shape Alabama lead us deeper into the heart of the Black Belt. It is 1850, and we have arrived in Selma.
The Alabama River carries cotton, commerce, and prosperity for some. But it also bears witness to the lives of countless men, women, and children whose names history rarely recorded. Here, we will discover more than the growth of a town.
We will discover the strength of families, the resilience of a community, and the quiet determination of people who endured unimaginable hardship while holding tightly to hope. As always, beyond the buildings, beyond the river, and beyond the statistics, there are people, there are stories, there are ancestors waiting to be heard. Welcome to Selma.
The longer we stand here, the more Selma begins to reveal itself.
They don't knock, they just arrive in every breath that keeps me alive.
Thank you for walking this path with us. Keep learning, sharing, and keep the legacy alive. See you Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST on the Gateway to the Ancestors.
This is a BLDS, Black Lady Doing Shit production.
Welcome back, Love Palace family. If you did not get an opportunity to tune in to Gateway to the Ancestors, make sure you first subscribe if you're not subscribed to that channel, because it has its own channel. And when I tell you that presentation last night was wonderful, it can help you with your self-esteem, because she goes in to asking the ancestors some questions. And there might be some questions that you might have want to know about. So go ahead, subscribe to Gateway to the Ancestors, and go ahead and check her out every other Wednesday. Okay? That information will be dropped into the chat. Okay? I appreciate it. Now, as we continue on this conversation of self-esteem, I want you to remember that growth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who we've always been underneath any hurt or pain. So now I want to talk about self-esteem versus self-confidence. Because many people confuse self-esteem with self-confidence. And I was one of those persons. But they're really different. So let me go ahead and break this down for you. Self-confidence is believing you can perform a task well. While self-esteem is believing that you still have value even when you don't perform perfectly. So think of self-confidence as knowing how to drive a car, while self-esteem is knowing your worth even if you get a flat tire along the way. A talented athlete can be confident on the field, yet secretly believe they're not lovable. A successful business owner may build $1 million company, but still struggle to feel worthy inside. Confidence can rise and fall depending on success, but healthy self-esteem remains steady because it isn't tied to performance. So let me give you the core difference of this again. Self-esteem is about being. Mhm. It's your internal evaluation of how fundamental worth, your fundamental worth as a person. It answers the question, how do I feel about who I am? It's deep, stable, and independent of your accomplishment. Now, self confidence is about doing, it is your truth in your ability to succeed at a specific task in a specific area. It answers the question, how capable am I uh, how capable am I of pulling this off? It is situational, behavioral, and built on your own experience. So you can build self confidence by practicing a skill, studying, and gaining experience. But you cannot practice your way into self esteem. Let me say that again. You can build self confidence by practicing skill, studying, and gaining experience. But you cannot practice your way into self esteem. Yes, family. Self esteem requires an internal shift, healing the relationship within your inner self, your inner critic, enforcing those boundaries, and practicing unconditional self acceptance. So, when we go into self esteem a little bit deeper, I want to give you these three C's that the three C's of self esteem. Is that all right if I give you those? Those three C's are competence, confidence, and connection. You see, competence grows when you learn and practice new skills. Now, confidence, you know that confidence develops as you trust yourself through your life experiences. And then you have connection. It comes from having healthy relationships where you're accepted for who you truly are. Imagine this, planting a tree. Competence is the roots growing deeper. Confidence is the trunk growing stronger. And connection is the branches reaching toward others. Without all three, the tree is going to struggle to withstand life's storm. So if you're feeling low, step back and evaluate the three C's. Am I feeling incapable? Am I feeling isolated? Or am I feeling powerless? Identifying the weak pillar gives you a direct, concrete blueprint of exactly what needs to be revealed. You know, life gets busy, family, but don't forget to pour into yourself. Your mental and emotional well being deserves daily attention. And some of the greatest investment we can make is in our bank account, even though it should be, and it can be. But it's actually believing we're worthy of life for the life we want and that we've been praying for. So, I want to talk about the root of self esteem. Because in order to sometimes gain certain things or heal certain things, you got to go to the root, right? So, low self esteem usually doesn't appear overnight. It often grows from repeated criticism. Then you can have childhood trauma. There could be bullying, rejection, unhealthy toxic relationship, or unrealistic expectation. There could be neglect, abuse, or constantly comparing yourselves to others. It's like planting that seed in that unhealthy soil. Even the strongest flower struggles to bloom without the proper care. Think about this. A little boy repeatedly hearing he's never good enough. Years later, he's an adult who still hears those childhood voices every time he faces a challenge. The past may explain where the wound came from, but it doesn't have to be where the story ends. The roots of low self esteem generally trace back to three main origins: childhood environment, social and society conditioning, and the internal coping mechanism we develop to survive them. Understanding the root of low self esteem is going to be liberating because it shifts the narrative from what is wrong with me to what happened to me. You cannot go back and change the childhood environment. You can't delete if you had high school bullying or erase past trauma, but recognizing that your low self esteem is a learned habit means it can be unlearned. Let me say that again. If you recognize that having low self esteem is a learned habit, it means that it can be unlearned. Now, there are dangers to having low self esteem. Low self esteem is far more than just a quiet inner sadness or a lack of confidence. It acts like an invisible leak in a ship. If left unanswered, it slowly fills and the ship begins to sink, right? When a person lives with low self esteem, they operate in survival mode to protect the fragile sense of worth. Their subconscious mind makes choices that create major collateral damage across their life. There's three significant dangers of living with low self-esteem. One of those is submitting to toxicity, being vulnerable to mistreatment. See, when your inner mirror tells you that you are fundamentally flawed or unworthy, your standards of how others treat you drop completely. You unconsciously seek out and tolerate environments and relationships that match your low self appraisal. Now, the danger in this is you become highly vulnerable to trauma bonding, mhm, and emotionally manipulative dynamics. So, if a partner, friend, or a boss mistreats you, your inner critic tells you, well, what did you expect? You're lucky they're even paying attention to you. Chronic people pleasing and boundary collapse. This is when you don't believe your needs or feelings carry weight. You abandon them to prioritize the comfort of everyone else. You become a psychological chameleon, shifting your shape to ensure you're always liked, approved, and valued by the outside world. Now, this can be dangerous because you completely lose your sense of self and spiral into severe burnout and have deep resentment. because you cannot say a healthy no. Your time, energy, and emotional bandwidth are constantly plundered by others. The other danger, the self-sabotage. This is called the ceiling effect. This is perhaps the most dangerous one of all because low self-esteem creates an artificial ceiling on what you allow yourself to achieve. Your mind tolerate cannot tolerate a reality that contradicts its core beliefs. So if things start going too well, your subconscious is like actively ready to sabotage the success and break you down to your comfort zone of inadequacy. This is dangerous because you're walking away from amazing career opportunities, pulling back from those good, healthy relationships that you were seeking, and you refuse to step out of your comfort zone because the fear of failing publicly is terrifying. Eventually, you miss what's right in front of you. And many people spend years living someone else's expectations while ignoring their own dream. Yes, I gave you a lot to think about, didn't I? You're watching Daily Dose of Dee, and I want to remind you that your healing is possible one conversation at a time. So go ahead and take a break because I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get me some water and think about the things that I just mentioned to you. And go tell a friend that, hey, there's something I want you to go hear. So go ahead and share that out or pick up that phone and text them and say, go ahead and go to the Love Palace and listen to Daily Dose of Dee. And I'll be right back after these messages to continue this conversation.
Here's a little insight on the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. Self-confidence is a belief in yourself. Belief is required for healing. Self-confidence says, I believe that I can, and I believe that I'm able. Self-esteem, on the other hand, is how you treat yourself, how you think about yourself, and how you feel about yourself on a day-to-day. It's the meeting and the understanding of your needs. I believe that self-esteem is not required to have self-confidence, but self-confidence, that belief in your abilities, is required in order to build and maintain self-esteem.
Hey, hold up! Queen Cammy pulled up. Ghost Rider recap.
Yeah. She slide through like, what's up, fam? Let's run this back. Tap in with the city, yeah, she keep the folks on track. Got that love in her stride, got that truth in her tone. Breaking down the headlines like she's sitting on a throne. Community.
I am celebrating. Come and join me. I have a surprise for you. I am pleased to announce that I have joined the Chamaka Essentials family. Welcome to Chamaka Essentials West Coast. I enjoy Chamaka Essentials aromatherapy products, and I know you will too. You will now be able to purchase her aromatherapy products directly from me, Queen Cammy Royal Essentials, and other aromatherapy products are available. Drop me an email and arrange your product delivery options.
This is a BLES, Black Lady Doing Shit production.
Welcome back, Love Palace family. Make sure you tap in and congratulate Queen Cammy for joining Chamaka Essentials on the west side. Yes, Chamaka Essentials is now on the west side. I will be dropping Cammy's information to her channel. You'll be able to see her email information or whatever you need to know. Let's congratulate Queen Cami for joining Shamaki Essentials, as well as Shamaki Essentials for the expansion. Okay? That information's in the chat as well. So let's continue replacing the doubt with fear, the doubt with truth. Y'all. The doubt with truth and fear, let me say it correctly, with purpose, okay? Now, when we talk about low self-esteem, many be like, ask the question, is low self-esteem considered a mental illness? I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you for asking that. Low self-esteem is not considered a mental illness. However, it can be connected to conditions like anxiety, depression, eating disorders, trauma, and other emotional challenges. So think of low self-esteem like a cracked window, right? The crack isn't the storm, but it allows the wind and rain to enter a little bit more easy. So if someone is struggling with persistent sadness, hopelessness, or overwhelming emotional pain, reaching out to a qualified mental health professional can be an important step toward healing. Excuse me, y'all. Because, when you're asking for help, it's not weakness. It isn't weakness. It's actually wisdom. It's the other W. It's not weakness. It's the W, wisdom. Instead, think of low self-esteem as vulnerability factor or a psychological symptom. It is a deeply ingrained mindset and a habit of thinking rather than a clinical disease. However, there's a massive catch when it comes to this. While it isn't a mental illness on its own, it is incredibly intertwined with it. See, low self-esteem operates like a weakened immune system. If your physical immune system is low, you don't automatically get sick. I'm telling you from personal experience. But you are vastly more vulnerable to every virus that passes by. When your psychological immune system, your self-esteem is low, you are highly susceptible to clinical mental health conditions. And here's the truth, Love Palace family, because low self-esteem is a learned perspective and not a biological malfunction. It means you are never permanently stuck with it. It isn't a life sentence. It is a blueprint that was handed to you by your past. But by utilizing the power of that pivot and actually rewriting your internal narrative, you have the absolute power to change it. Yes, you can change it. You have the power to change. So, how can we change this? Let me offer you some healthy steps to building up self-esteem. And if you are ready to dismantle the shaky foundation, because remember we said we're rebuilding this foundation. Remember at the beginning I told you we're going to rebuild this foundation. If you are feeling that you have low self-esteem, here are some steps that I'm going to offer to you. As I mentioned, you're going to have the pivot and the audit of the inner critic inside you, the inner critic. Because low self-esteem is kept by a continuous, hypercritical internal monologue. The first step is to change your relationship with your voice. You can't always stop the thought from popping up, but you can choose whether or not to agree with it. How you can do this, a practice that I'm going to offer, is catch yourself when you make a mistake and notice that thought automatic. If you spill something or miss a deadline and your mind snaps, oh, I'm just so stupid. I always mess up. Execute the power of the pivot. Shift that internal voice in real time. Consciously replace with a statement or fact of self compassion. Like, I made a mistake and it's a little bit frustrating, but making a mistake doesn't make me an inadequate person. I will fix it and I'm just going to keep on moving forward. Treat yourself with the same grace you would extend to a friend or a family member. Because low self esteem filters out your successes and magnifies your failures. You have to actively train your brain to see your capabilities. Remember, genuine self esteem requires evidence of mastery. You can start doing this, offering, start a daily or weekly. We can call it a win log. This isn't just for a massive career promotions, it's for the small things, everyday victories that require effort and discipline. You can start doing that. Start with your win log. Write down what you say no to. Mhm. How you handle a situation with grace, and how did you finish when you were procrastinating? Do you have a boundary? And do you say no? Is it hard for you to know? Is it hard for you to say no? Write these things down. And over time, these log, this log is going to create an undeniable, concrete paper trail for your capability, strengthening your self-efficiency. The I can factor. Yes, baby. The other thing, protect your spiritual hygiene. Let me say this again. Protect your spiritual hygiene. Enforce boundaries. You cannot build healthy self esteem if you are constantly allowing your environment, toxic relationship, or energy vampires to drain your reservoir. Protecting your space is non negotiable. Step in building self respect. So take a hard look at where you're overextending or people pleasing out of fear of rejection. Practice setting small, clear boundaries. Realizing that saying no to others is often a massive yes to yourself, your peace, and your mental clarity. When you protect your time and energy, you send a powerful, powerful signal to your subconscious that your needs matter, because they do. The other thing I want to offer, shift from comparison to authenticity. In this world today, it's designed to make us compare our behind the scenes struggles with everyone else's life or that filter highlight reel. This is an immediate recipe for feeling inadequate. So do a digital and social audit as well. Unfollow or mute accounts that constantly trigger feelings of envy, inadequacy, or self doubt. Instead, seek out spaces where people who embrace your vulnerability, your transparency, and real growth, like Daily Dose of Dee and all the COC bars. And once you do this, pivot your focus inward. Measure your progress along the way. Where you were yesterday is not where somewhere else is today. And then I want to offer to embrace the flawed and worthy mindset. True self esteem is not built on perfectionism because there's no such thing. Perfectionism is actually a defense mechanism, if I want to be real, of low self esteem, driven by the fear that if you aren't perfect, you aren't lovable. Except that human beings are, by definition, a work in progress. You can improve your life, grow your skills, and pivot your career while still fully accepting the person you are in that exact moment. Adapt the ultimate baseline truth. You want to hear this? Say, I am perfect. I am imperfect. Sorry, you guys. I am imperfect. I have areas where I want to grow, and I am still entirely worthy of love, respect, and a seat at the table right now. Every single time you choose self compassion over self criticism, you stand firm in your worth. You add another solid brick to a foundation that no one else can tear down. So, think of these exercises as water in a garden. You might not see the flowers tomorrow, but every drop matters so that flower can bloom. Building self esteem takes patience, just like strengthening a muscle at the gym. It don't come right away when you start lifting the weights right there, right? You got to keep doing it. And eventually that muscle grows and gets stronger. Every healthy choice becomes another repetition. Keep promises you make to yourself. Every time you honor your own word, trust begins to grow inside of you. Don't just survive your life, learn to enjoy it. Every day is another opportunity to become a healthy version of yourself. So I'm going to take this last break and I want you to think about everything I've been talking about. And go ahead and like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I'm going to conclude this conversation powerful about self-esteem right after these messages.
5 surefire tips to boost your self-esteem. 1, no comparison. Do not compare yourself to anyone. You don't know what they have to do to get there. 2, you look good, you feel good. Take care of yourself. 3, put yourself first, always. 4, smile more. 5, do not be around people that make you feel less about yourself. You got this.
We bring the light higher. Fire in the rhythm, heat in the sound. COC energy shaking the ground.
Welcome back, beautiful souls, beautiful souls. I am GoddessDee of Love, and I am also your insight coach. So if you need some help to help you find your superpower or superpowers, go ahead and hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, or at the email that is presented in the chat. And I'll be happy to help you find your superpower. Because everybody has a superpower or power. You just have to look inside and find yours. And that's going to help you with your self-esteem. So let's go ahead and continue this conversation. Powerful. I want you to remember that confidence grows action, self-esteem grows through acceptance and building healthy self-esteem. Let me conclude today with some self-esteem exercises. Let me get some water. Okay. Some self-esteem exercises that you can do. Because exercising, when we, like I said, our physical body, when we exercise and it helps us and heals us, right? We can do that also with our self-esteem. So here's some self-esteem exercises. The daily ledger. I talked about this. Low self-esteem suffers from confirmation bias. It hyper focuses on your mistakes and completely filters out your achievement. So to fix this, you have to force your brain to track the data that keeps trying to ignore. Every evening, day, night, or whatever, write down 3 things that you won at today. Now, this doesn't need to be massive or life altering, okay? A win is any moment you showed up for yourself. Any moment. Like, for example, I chose the healthy lunch today. I handled a frustrated email with grace, and I took 2 minutes to breathe instead of spiraling and going off on the people that I wanted to that have worked my last nerve at work. The goal is over time that this ledger becomes an undeniable concrete paper trail of your capability. When the inner critic tries to tell you that you can't handle things, you got receipts to prove that you can. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Don't forget the thought of the pivot. When you can't always control the first thought that pops into your head, but you have absolute control over the second one. Y'all hear that? You can't always control that first thought that happens in your head, but that second one you definitely can control. This exercise is going to train you to stop letting the inner critic have the final word. So when you catch yourself spinning a negative narrative, like, I completely ruined that presentation, I'm terrible at this, immediately do a pivot. Acknowledge without the drama. The presentation didn't go perfectly. I missed a couple of points, but I'm learning, and now I actually know what to tweak for next time. And one moment does not define my whole entire intelligence. That interprets the internal pathways of self-sabotage and replaces them with a narrative grounded in self-compassion and resilience. Now, this next exercise, I love this one. The boundary sandbox. This is going to target your self-respect, because people pleasing is a major symptom of low self-esteem. If you're trying to jump straight into setting massive boundaries without highly demanding people, you might experience a vulnerability hangover and retreat right back to people pleasing. Instead, treat boundaries like a sandbox. Start small. Choose one low stake situation. This week to practice, say saying a clean, polite no without over explaining yourself. You know, Daily Dose of Dee, GoddessDee be messing up, but I don't care. You know, I keep going. So, example of this is turning down an invite to an invitation to an event you are too tired to attend. or letting someone know, I can't take on that extra task today, but I can look at it Thursday. Every time you enforce a boundary, you send a powerful signal to your mind, your subconscious mind, that your time, energy, and peace are more valuable and worth protection. The other exercise is called the best friend. This is your integration. We are almost always harsher on ourselves than we would ever be to anyone else. So, this exercise leverages your natural empathy for others and turns inward. So, think of a specific setback or insecurity you are struggling with. Record a 2-minute audio memo on your phone speaking to yourself, exactly as you spoke to a dear friend or a client facing the same exact issue. Mhm. Then go ahead and listen to it back immediately. Hearing your own voice speak to you with warmth, authority, and unconditional respect help bridge the gap between how you treat the world and how you treat yourself. Clip that. How you own your voice, speak to you with warmth, authority, and unconditional respect helps bridge the gap between how you treat the world and how you treat yourself. Drop bombs today. I'm almost done with you, Love Palace family. So, as I conclude today, let me share these final words with you, okay? Let me go ahead and set the tone. I'll be right back. Okay, Love Palace family. Let me say this. You are not the mistake. Definitely not the worst day. You are not the name someone else called you. You are possibility. You are purpose. You are resilience wrapped in skin. Every scar tells a story, but none of them get to write the final chapter. So, go ahead and walk taller. Speak kinder of yourself. Go ahead and dream bigger, love deeper, and forgive sooner. Because the person you've been waiting to believe in have been looking back at you from the mirror all alone. Okay, Love Palace family. I want to thank you for spending a little bit more extra time with me today. I really appreciate the time that you spent with me for this another episode of Daily Dose of Dee. And I did do it a little bit earlier because I got things to do later on this evening. So if you are watching this at 5:30, thank you. If you are watching it now at 4, thank you as well. I appreciate every comment, every share, every like, and every moment we spend growing with this amazing community at the Love Palace. Special love and appreciation always to the replay game. Thank you for coming to the Love Palace. You all keep these conversations alive. And I truly thank you for showing up every single day for me. It's greatly appreciated. Now, just a reminder, this is why I went a little bit longer as well. Just a reminder, tonight we will not be airing Where's the Love At. So go ahead and feel free to catch up on the previous episodes right here at the Love Palace or at Big Mouthpiece or at both. We'll be back next week with another powerful conversation. Y'all already know, okay? So until next time, remember that your worth isn't something you earn. It's something you already possess. Keep growing, keep healing, keep loving yourself, and keep choosing peace. Everyone have a peaceful, prosperous, abundant evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on what time of day you're watching Daily Dose of Dee. Peace and love, family, and I will see you on the next episode of Daily Dose of Dee. Have a great one. Oh, wait, I forgot something. I forgot to say something. Don't forget to tap in tomorrow, Friday, for meditation and chair yoga. That can help you with your self-esteem. Yes, it can. It can help you at Holistic Royalty by Kels. I'll be dropping that information in the chat. I don't know how I forgot that, but I wanted to remind y'all that is going down tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Meditation and chair yoga. Go ahead and tap in. Okay, that's it. And as my sister would say, don't try to hold me. I gotta go. I got things to do, and I will talk to you later. Peace and love.
Welcome to Holistic Royalty by Kels, where peace, holistic wellness is designed with you in mind.
You are just in time. It's time for meditation and yoga class. Follow me. My name is Queen Kels, and I am a certified yoga instructor specializing in Hatha Yoga, a practice of self-transformation using postures and breathing to focus the mind and body. It is a slower, more meditative practice where poses are held for longer periods. Before we start, allow me to guide you into today's meditation. Tune into Holistic Royalty by Kels on Mondays and Fridays for meditation and yoga, 11 a.m. EST.
From bed yoga to the chair, introducing chair yoga, an alternative to traditional floor yoga. Listen as I guide you through the steps for a well-balanced part of your day. This and more are available here at Holistic Royalty by Kels. Remember to hit that notification bell, like, share, and subscribe.
Stop acting like there's anything wrong with you. Live your life like you are the baddest bee on the planet. Live like that. Stop reminding yourself that somebody left you, somebody cheated on you, somebody betrayed you. Because as long as you have that in your consciousness, you will continue to attract that. So live your life like there's not a damn thing wrong with you. If you a size 16, live your life like you a size 10. Look at me. I ain't living my life like I'm 72. Woo! Yes! Okay? Stop picking on yourself, and if you step into that, everything that needs to be cleaned, healed, released, surrendered will come to the surface. If you step into the vision you have of yourself, the things you need to let go of, the things you need to release, surrender, forgive, whatever, they'll come to the surface. When they come to the surface, do the work, let it go, and then go back into your best vision of yourself. We spend too much time focusing on the brokenness, focusing on what's wrong. You got to bless the X. And if someone shows up that looks like that, sounds like that, smells like that, bless them and go in the other direction.
She don't just love, she heals and keep. Let go, let flow. Daily dose of Dee. In the land is free. In the love palace, ships dock even here. Yeah, we guide the tide. GoddessDee. when your heart needs reminding. D is divine, D is daily, D is love, a daily dose.